What is up, guys? Welcome to Boom Base. Today we are here for not an after cinema reviews, not a movie review, no nothing. I think this is one of the few TV show reviews that I have on this channel, and thinking about it, it might be the only TV show that isn't an anime review on this channel. But today we are here to talk about HBO's The Last of Us. But before we get to the real content, if you end up liking what you see and want to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified anytime I upload.
Yes.
I am one of your hosts, Ben, and welcome Luke back once more.
Hello again. Yeah, probably for the last time until...
For the last.
Yeah, for the foreseeable future.
But yeah, this will just be like a series overview. We'll probably talk a little bit in depth about, well, I say in depth, just talk a bit about the episodes. I guess we'll start with just what did you think of the TV? Actually, have you played the video game, Luke?
No, never. I've only heard that it's like really good, but I'm not a gamer at all. If I'm interested enough in a game, I'll watch a walkthrough on YouTube. That's about it. But I haven't done with The Last of Us at all.
I have played maybe the first, like, probably up to the end of episode 2, maybe ever so slightly further than that in the video game, even though it doesn't fully follow the video game. But I'm too much of a pussy for horror shit in video games, so yeah.
Yeah.
I don't play horror games at all, as I will just turn it off. Don't need to subjugate myself to jump scares for no reason. But no, so we both have a very lack of knowledge going into the TV show.
Yeah.
So we aren't like die-hard fans or super lovers of the video game. I mean, what I played of the video game was good, don't get me wrong. But yeah, but for me, I really enjoyed the TV show, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought it was superb. Yeah, really, really good.
I'm always a big fan of HBO TV shows. I have good faith in HBO TV shows. Although I suppose like the end of Game of Thrones wasn't that amazing, but I don't know if that was like HBO's choice rather than the writers, but...
I think that was maybe part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
It was... it was massive, wasn't it? Everyone was watching Game of Thrones when it came out because it was amazing. But then I think, it was when they ran out of book material. I think people say it was post-season, or season 5 and onwards, that is where it started to decline because they'd run out of the source material that it came from. Yeah.
But normally, 9 times out of 10, HBO hit the mark pretty much every time. I think they are the most consistent, like... TV network streaming thing, I suppose.
Yeah. Did you ever end up watching Chernobyl?
Yeah.
You did. Okay, I think that's the one that I haven't seen because we watched the Watchmen miniseries, which was great. House of the Dragon was fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the only one for me that I haven't seen so far that HBO have done recently.
I was going to say recently.
Yeah.
Because there's
I was going to say
tons of stuff.
Yeah. I think is Sopranos HBO.
Yep.
Yeah.
So is The Wire.
Yes, yeah.
So Deadwood, 6 Feet Under, and they're both very renowned shows. I haven't seen them, but from what I at least know, it seems to be one that just like hits the mark every single time, and that's what makes me like I'm a big lover of Harry Potter and things, and it's what makes me pretty excited for that TV show to be done by HBO.
Yeah, it's crazy they picked that up. Yeah, It's strange, isn't it? Like I don't know how they just. Like most TV show production companies, they'll make something that's shit, but HBO just don't seem to do that. I don't know how that happens. Like, how do they not take a chance on something and it just turns out crap?
Maybe they just always do good shit.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, and why can't everyone just do that? You know?
Because I don't know, to be fair. Well, I mean, The Idol has been coming out on HBO, to be fair, and I don't think that's very good.
Oh, that's the one with The Weeknd in, isn't it? And it's very controversial. Yeah, because I think he's a bit of a creep in it, isn't he, or something like that? And he wrote it. So yeah, yeah. It's I've heard about that. Yeah, it's got Johnny Depp's daughter in it as well, and apparently it's him being sort of creepy towards her character, but she's receptive to it. Her character is I don't know.
It's got Jenny from Blackpink as well in.
Alright.
In which she's now got a role in Marvel now.
Okay.
From doing that.
What from do?
Yeah, she wasn't in anything. I think this is her first acting debut.
Wow.
And the internet popped off when she said the word "fuck me" essentially, because you just wouldn't expect that from an idol at all. But,
right.
But yeah, no. Back onto The Last of
The
Us.
Last of Us, yeah.
There was a controversial episode with episode 3 that I heard from friends and things. But just on the controversy of the fact that it's just wholly not within the game, and it changed a lot that was in the game, but I'm fairly sure both me and Luke thought that it was a really good episode.
I think it was one of the best, if not the best, maybe, like as a whole episode.
As a whole
in the series.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I would agree as well. It was a very like wholesome, not humbling episode, but it was just nice to see within a world full of just shit that some nice things can still happen, and it wasn't just, we got to see someone that had given up on living want to live again and learn to love as well.
Well, I mean, I don't think he had given up on living. He just wasn't scared of dying. I don't think, because he says when him and Frank are deep into their sort of relationship, he said like, "I wasn't scared before you came along," sort of thing.
I mean, so like living to like with the normal conventions.
With a purpose. Yeah, right. Yeah. It does start cool, doesn't it? Like when he's just in his little basement that only he knows the way to get in. Like I think there's a door underneath a cupboard, and the cupboard is somehow part of the door as well. Like,
it's fucking cool.
He's just like listening to the police raid his house, and he's just he's been planning for this. This potential eventuality for like years or whatever, and he just knows exactly what to do.
It's fueled the world enders to be like, look, we've seen one of our people survive now and thrive, and we'll be all for it when the real end of the world does happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't seen all of The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead certainly dropped off for me after season 3.
Yeah, it just becomes the same story all throughout season 4. All throughout all the seasons. Like they'll move to a new place, meet a new group of people. Group of people aren't quite what they thought they were. They end up having to kill a load of them or whatever, and running away. Some of their group dies.
Pretty much. Like it'd be nice to read the comic book at some point, because I think that deviates from the TV show deviated from the comic book a lot. But I don't really read much comic books anyway. But I prefer some manga series that I've read that are to do with zombies, as they're a bit more cool and a bit more unique rather than the same old that The Walking Dead seems to do. Like, it definitely has been groundbreaking as a show for the post-apocalyptic stuff, but zombies just get a bit tedious and tiresome now. And I think that's why The Last of Us, not only was it a good game, but has done well because it's just a little bit different. It's not the same, it's a different type of thing. I like the whole cordyceps fungus aspect to it, rather than it's just this weird thing has turned you into a zombie, or everyone has it, and if you die you become a zombie and stuff. And then it was
true. I mean, it's kind of the same principle almost. It's just that it's a fungus rather than like a virus or whatever. Like like in Resident Evil, it's the T virus, isn't it, that infects everyone? How does that get invented? Is it like a lab created thing that gets out of hand?
I think it's meant to do with a monkey. I think from one of the films. I think they were testing something on a monkey, and that monkey scratched. Oh no, I'm thinking of 28 Days.
Okay, but same sort of principle. I imagine.
Probably.
Yeah, because it's Is it just this? This is just the cordyceps fungus is a real thing, isn't it? Like it infects insects and things like that. But this version just evolves to be able to infect humans and can like pass itself on through bites. But yeah, I think it's kind of the same principle as other things. Because aren't zombies technically the undead? There's the undead, and then there's just infected people that happen to like behave like zombies.
Yes, I guess.
Is that I remember seeing there was like an actual terminology for what a zombie is. Like everyone just refers to any kind of zombie thing as zombies, even if it is like a virus rather than just the living dead.
Yeah, no, I do get what you mean.
Yeah,
I think I'm just a bit sick and tired of zombies. Although the infected in The Last of Us were kind of the same. What definitely got me even more engaged to it was the fact that we got to see the bloater all for like 5 seconds, and that made me just start diving a bit more into The Last of Us lore. Yes, it might have spoiled me for some bits for season 2 and things, but Lord Almighty, that like took it to like a Left 4 Dead sort of thing. And I think a Left 4 Dead flipping TV show would be very, very cool, to be fair.
Yeah.
If it was like a almost like an anthology bit, because I don't know how Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 link up story-wise. I can't really remember. But
yeah, I've no idea. I've never played the games.
It'd be cool for like an anthology, like just a series in itself, or making its own sort of TV show. But no, I think my favourite episodes for The Last of Us were the first one, episode 3, and then probably the last 2 that we've watched.
Yeah.
Well, the last 2 in the series, but
yeah, that first episode was savage. Like when it all kicks off and he's like, he has to run over the neighbours, because they come out of the house like the old woman's like crawling across the grass trying to get to him, and then the neighbour from across the street who's not infected yet sees Joel do that, and he's just like, oh my god, Joel, and then you just see her get tackled by the other bloke who's infected.
Like, it was a very good pilot episode, to be fair. Like, I wouldn't put it in a list of top pilot episodes, but it still is a very, or for me personally, but it still is a very good pilot episode. I think maybe if I played the game more and things like that, maybe I'd be a bit more attached to it. But it was just a good episode as a whole, which was nice. I like and dislike that it's like 9 episodes long. I wish we could have got a little bit more time with Joel and Ellie, as I don't know how it differs from the video game, but I know there was, we kind of skipped some time where their relationship built, but I wish we kind of saw that more, because Bella Ramsey as an actress is a bit annoying to me, and then her character. I think
for her age, she's doing a killer job, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't expect much, because I was thinking because she's got a very English accent from what we saw of her in Game of Thrones, and I was thinking isn't she supposed to be American in this? But then hearing her American accent, it's actually decent. I don't think there was any cracks in it whatsoever. I never noticed the English accent bleed through. Yeah, I think she was good for the most part. Especially in that the second to last episode that we've just watched. Where she's just mullered that bloke with the butcher's knife. What was his name? Was it David?
David. Yeah.
David. Yeah, just mullered him, and then she comes out and Joel comes up behind her, knowing it's her, and she just assumes it's someone else, and she starts screaming and stuff. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that was very, very good. That's what helped it for me, but I think it was just because I don't remember Ellie being that annoying in the beginning of the video game.
Yeah.
It might just be because it's a while, but I also just, that plus Bella Ramsey just started to annoy me. She was just annoying me in the beginning, but it got better, and I wish I'd seen more of the bit where the bond was forming, because that's when I'd started to like her a lot more as Ellie, and I wish we got to see that. The episode with her, I can't remember what her fucking friend was called.
Oh, Riley?
Yes, yeah. Riley. That was a good episode.
Played by Storm Reed. I think that was the slowest one for me though, because it took so long for things to happen. It was a lot of just them mucking about in the mall.
We saw the infected so long ago.
For a good 40 minutes, yeah. It's 20 minutes in, there's an infected person in here. And it's just another 20 minutes of them playing arcade games.
And just somehow not attracting that infected to them, even though previous episodes we've seen they just need a slight noise and they know where you are.
And they're running as well. Yeah. They're quick movers.
And that's something with Ellie's mum that you see that really confused me a little bit. As we hadn't seen an instance of that before with the infected, where it had literally it chased her across an entire field. She got across the entire field
before it even came out of the woods.
Yeah, and then had hidden the building, and it somehow tracked her to in the building and was bashing on the correct door. It came just straight up, no nonsense, was just at that door banging and busted through. Do they have sensitive hearing? Because she was breathing loudly and sort of making noises while she was breathing, because she was out of breath, and also in the middle of sort of giving birth. Oh yeah, it's just that she made it across the entire field without it following her, and that's a long distance to go.
I get you, yeah. Because did they still have use of their vision as well? Because I know there was one.
No.
He had the fungus all over his face, and he had no eyes, so that's why they had to be quiet, because he could only hear. But then there are some infected that have eyes still.
Yeah, they did say that. So I think some had learnt to do some great explanation. Learn to do some stuff.
Okay,
great. Maybe it was just the fact that wasn't a full on fungal looking one. Maybe that was just the beginning of the infected part.
Yeah.
And they can still use their like motor functions and things a lot more than the uber fungal versions can. I mean, talking about the fungus part, all the fungal infected did look very good. The practical effects on each of those looked very, very good. And that's something that I think drove the show in a very positive direction. That was really nice to see.
Yeah.
I think, still talking about the wanting to see more of the Bond, I think I would have just maybe preferred it as like maybe 10 episodes, because maybe 12 might be a bit much of a stretch. 10 episodes would have at least... We could have had an episode where it was more seeing more of the Bond in a way.
Yeah.
But I only know one thing that's going to happen in season 2. Well, I know of a character, I know of a plot point.
Right.
And from now seeing the bloater, I know about the Rat King, but I don't know if that's going to be in the second season. If it is, holy shit.
Yeah, that does sound nuts. Yeah, what was it, like an amalgamation of
a bloater and like 4 or 5 infected
people?
It's
just, that come together to make one big. It's like an infected Zord.
Pretty much an infected Megazord.
Voltron. Yeah.
Like I think that's what helps set it apart. Because in The Walking Dead there was just zombies. I know, and I think the Daryl spin-off or something, they've got like a different zombie in it.
Oh, in The Walking Dead?
Yeah, okay, there's just like a Daryl spin-off TV show. I don't know if that's actually within the Fear the Walking Dead or what, but there's like a new type of like zombie in which that type of stuff can be very cool and like engaging for me to want to like learn more, because it's just like, holy shit, this is something different, this is something cool, rather than just the same old, and you know, things like that aren't necessarily bad, but I think there's just been a bit of saturation with zombie stuff over the last 10 plus years since Walking Dead's been on.
Yeah.
We've had a fair bit of zombie things, even when it comes to like spoofy sort of comedic movies and things.
Yeah.
So The Last of Us felt a bit of like a breath of fresh air, although still kind of a similar nature. But,
yeah.
I don't think I really saw any bad acting in it at all, or felt like there was any bad acting.
No.
Even the super side characters, the no-namers, the ruffians, if you like.
Yeah, they don't waste time.
Yeah, it all looked really good set-wise and things. I couldn't really tell if anything was CGI or if it was just real.
Yeah, I remember seeing one of the set photos where I think they have like, you know, if there's like a wide shot, they have the street that's directly in front of them, like, you know, practical cars and like rundown cars and just debris and stuff everywhere, and the rest is just all
they do that a lot. Yeah. But it's nice that it's weird that how in like a TV show they can make it so it doesn't look like that, but in movies they kind of fuck up a lot with that with a much higher budget, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because like The Last of Us, for example, looked much better than like some recent film. Well, not to use The Flash as an example, but you know, it looks better. There's some films that I've flipping seen recently with like, you know, God, Last of Us. Let's just say it was 10 million an episode for just whatever reason. Like that's 90 million. That's still less than The Flash.
Yeah.
Like, I am curious now. I will let you talk about some of your bits whilst I am now googling The Last of Us.
I think it comes down to planning. I remember hearing about so obviously James Gunn does the Guardians movies, and him and his team plan everything out before they even shoot it, and then they just do it, so they know what they need to use CG for, and they know what they need to use practical for, and it is 10 million.
It was 10 million episodes.
Between 10 and 15 million per episode. Just seems like a lot, but I mean,
that does seem like a lot, but it did look very good. And there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of different sets and like set locations, as well as like the different seasons as well. And maybe just a lot of it was just banged up fucking rusty cars. Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, I mean, like, so yeah, James Gunn and his team, they like plan everything ahead. So where they can use practical effects, they'll do practical effects, and they know what they need to CG before anything even gets filmed. And then they just do it, and they don't change anything. But then other big Marvel films and other blockbusters like that go through a weird process where like changes can just be made even towards the end of filming. Like they'll just decide to do it a different way or do something else, or even in post-production, like the VFX teams will be busy rendering things, and then suddenly the writers or the suits or the producers in control of it will just say, oh no, we want this happening now,
No,
and that's why it comes out shit, because they don't have time to make a good version of it with the time that they have after a change has been decided. So I think it's probably the same case here, where they just planned everything in advance. Here's what's going to happen, here's how we're going to do it, let's just do it, and that's why it looks great.
It does really look great, and I'm happy that it does look great, because it would have been really sad and sucky for such a well-loved fan base for a video game to get a video game adaptation that it was just then shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is, to knowledge, or at least that I've experienced, one of the better, if not best, video game adaptations that I've experienced.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for it because obviously I haven't played the video game, so as an adaptation, I don't know. But
oh no, I meant as like taking a video game and then putting it on the screen, either as a film or TV show.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, story wise, I don't even know what any of the like zombies look like.
Oh, I'm not including the like
aesthetics or anything.
Yeah, I'm just like talking about like as it's gone. It's not been bad.
Yeah, okay.
Irregardless, like I know the League of Legends Arcane one was very good, but that was animated.
Yeah.
The Witcher has seemed to have dropped off now, but I can't really talk to that, as I just dropped The Witcher as it was kind of crap.
Yeah, I think it's for a lot of people. It's just gone too off kilter to carry on with. That's why Henry Cavill's leaving.
Yeah.
Or has left already.
I know we have got a Assassin's Creed, a God of War, and a BioShock one, as well as a Gears of War coming in the future. For TV shows, at least. I've got the Halo Paramount Plus one on Blu-ray, and I'll watch that at some point. But again, I don't know how that's going to be. Castlevania was very good, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, Castlevania is dope. New show of that coming out at the end of September as well. A sequel.
The Halo one has a 7.2, and that's not necessarily like terrible, all things considered. Like, from what I've heard, it apparently wasn't very good, but 7.2 is...
I think, isn't the main problem with it the fact that Master Chief takes his helmet off all the time, and...
Yes, I have heard some...
People are just like, well, he just doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. Like, they could have done like what they do in Mandalorian, where they just have a guy in the suit and then get an actor in to just do the voice.
Yeah.
Could have just done that instead of... Because it's the actor in the costume as well, he wants to have to take his helmet off, so he's got a bit of face time on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, no. But, like... Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Off topic again.
Yeah.
What I was going to talk about is, so in the first episode of The Last of Us, back to The Last of Us now.
We're talking about The Last of Us in this Last of Us
That's
episode.
what this video's for, isn't it? There's soldiers just going around once the pandemic starts kicking off, and they're just sort of given orders to execute anyone who's sort of about, which is how Joel's daughter ends up getting killed. What do you reckon you would do if you were a soldier, and like over the radio you said like, I've just found like 3 people. What do you want me to do with them?
It depends on how much I would have been debriefed about the situation.
Right.
And if I have the knowledge I have now in terms of just how things go, I probably wouldn't fuck about.
Well, you'd be happy to shoot innocent people and kids and...
I would probably try.
Do it.
Because I don't know if they at that point knew whether it was like airborne or what, because they all had sort of like gas mask things on. So I think at that point, if he didn't know that it wasn't like airborne or anything, then probably it would have to come to that. Because when it gets to that point of an outbreak, I mean, we've seen how fucking shit COVID's been and how terrible the government was for doing that with just the lax on the staying in fucking side. Even just people couldn't stay in fucking side.
Yeah, that's
true. We saw other countries that just did really well from just following fucking rules.
Yeah.
But
responding quickly and adhering to the rules. Yeah.
If he did know it wasn't airborne, then I would have at least got them to show, as fucking shit and weird and horrible as it would have been. I would have been like, look, fucking strip for me, show me there's nothing on you, and I will let you go.
Yeah. Well, that's
as weird
thing.
as it is to be like stripped for a 15-year-old kid in front of me.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get the point.
That's the thing, but then I wonder if they did that for everyone, it would probably take a long time, wouldn't it? And then, like, if anyone had been bitten or whatever, they could just become one, like, in the queue to in the queue to get checked for it. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
it's a difficult situation. That is, yeah.
It definitely is, and panic and paranoia and things takes over a lot, and no doubt I would be insanely paranoid and things. It's just like, and again, we've never experienced anything like it, but it just always bugs me, the same trope if someone does get bit and then just tries to hide it from a group when they're in a group, because it is just like, you've seen how much shit goes on when this happens. Are you really wanting to jeopardize your entire group because you don't want to know, or them to know that you've been bitten? That's one trope in this type of infected thing that actually bugs the fuck out of me. Like that, I actually, I could have liked you the entire time. As soon as you start hiding it, I hate you. I hate you. And it's just, I don't know. There's always one crackhead fucking church group in here that are always eating humans, and what do you fricking know? They were eating humans again.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, Joel, there's a bit where he finds like there's a sort of warehouse where they store like canoes and things like that, but then have also turned it into like a makeshift butcher's freezer by hanging beheaded corpses up there. I think one of them had a few chunks taken out where they've obviously like used the meat for their meals or whatever. Yeah, I think it was. It became kind of apparent when you see them tuck it into a meal. But David's got like a big plate which he's eating from, and then his right hand man James is sort of very squeamish about. He's just putting a little tiny bit into his mouth and sort of making a bit of a grimace face because obviously it's not meat that you should consume. That James guy, the David's right hand man, is played by Troy Baker. I didn't realise that until I looked at the cast list. Troy Baker is a voice actor who did the voice of Joel in the video game, which I thought was really cool. And then of course we got Ashley Johnson in the next episode, the last episode of the series, as Ellie's mother, and she does the voice of Ellie in the game. Pretty cool.
Which is definitely very cool. It's nice to have them be within the show that they've made such a big thing from their voice acting.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned to you at one point, they had, I didn't dislike the two that we had as Joel and Ellie, but the guy that plays Jamie Lannister, a lot of people wanted him to play Joel.
Yeah.
And then Caitlin Denver, they wanted to play Ellie.
Oh, wow.
Which would have been she would have been good, yeah. Which would have been very... Oh, that's just a freaking picture of the actual Last of Us TV show, which wouldn't have helped. But I can see Last of Us...
She actually, looks quite... She's in Justified, I know her from, and what was that TV show about the OxyContin with Michael Keaton on it?
Oh, Dope Sick.
That was it, Dope Sick, yeah, she was in that.
She's a good actress. Like in game and
yeah.
And that might have worked a bit, like, because Bella Ramsey, unfortunately, just doesn't look like Ellie at all.
No, she's good, but as an aesthetic choice, it's off.
But then I suppose, like, with those two choices that people wanted, we know they can act. But I think I saw a lot of people saying that, like, if you picked people to look like them, they might not be able to perform like they did in the video game. But I mean, the two that the majority wanted would have probably nailed the role very, very well, to be fair.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, just depends. I don't know, will they keep the same people for the next season if time passes in the series? Because Ellie looks older in the Last of Us 2 game on the front cover of the game box.
Yeah. Has a few years passed in that?
I don't know how long.
I think it's sort of... this season ended to sort of leave it for a time jump, maybe?
Yeah.
Because they go back to Tommy's Ranch. It could be, another 5 years gone past or something, I don't know.
And that's something that we can talk about. How do you feel about Joel lying?
Yeah, pretty brutal. So... Ellie's taken in for surgery because she's obviously got the antibodies that was it a chemical messenger that tells the cordyceps that her body is already cordyceps?
Yeah, or at least that's what they surmise, essentially.
Yeah, and that's why the cordyceps doesn't grow in her body. Like, it will start and then stop. That's why she's got the marks on her arm. So she's taken into surgery so that they can extract these chemical messages from her brain, which would involve killing her, I believe. That's why Joel...
Or just, like, full-on lobotomizing her, pretty much is how I imagine if it didn't killer.
A vegetable or whatever, yeah. So Joel just goes on a killing spree around the hospital,
so good.
efficiently and effectively murdering everybody in his path. He gets into the surgery room, doesn't he? After mothering all of the armed guards, and the head surgeon just says, "I'm not going to let you take her," and
bang.
But yeah, he brandishes a scalpel and Joel just shoots him in the head.
It was
no mercy.
So good. One thing I did like was the fact that he didn't kill anyone unarmed. He always killed people that were armed, which I thought was a nice sort of like thing.
To him, yeah, I guess.
And it's nice to see characters do that, because that's kind of like a similar thing when we spoke about Blue Beetle that I kind of just like wish happened a bit more. Like, yes, there comes the after bit of like Joel then lying to Ellie and things, and that becomes a bit dichotic, or levels the dichotomy of whether you actually like Joel anymore now, or if he is just that murderer that people didn't particularly like.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like Joel enough where I don't mind that he lied. I know he's probably hanging on to some like his daughter like problems and probably the lack of dealing with the grief and things, but
that is I
don't think Ellie's character outwardly was just like, yeah, I'll die to save all these people, and I think the choice would be there for her. Again, lying about the fact that there's loads of others and all that type of stuff, and killing Marlene isn't very good, but I suppose it's where it goes in season 2. If it leads to Ellie having a good life in the end, however she can have a good life in this world.
It's revealed something about Joel, about how he's obviously not come to terms with the death of Sarah, and now he's got another, like a sort of almost replacement for her. He'll do anything to stop her from dying like Sarah did.
I think maybe it's more like he might have dealt with it, but now something has filled the role of his daughter, and he now can't let that happen a second time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he also might not have dealt with the grief properly as well.
Yeah, because he tells Ellie that there are dozens of other people with the same chemical messengers as her, and that she's not needed anymore, which is why they're now in the car heading back to Tommy's compound. What else did he say? She asked him if Marlene was okay, and he's like,
he didn't answer.
Did he not say anything?
No, he kind of just kept talking. He didn't really answer fully that question. And I don't know whether Bella Ramsey asking at the end was that she kind of thought that he was lying, or whether it was just like a sort of, you're not lying to me, we can just go back and just be okay, type of thing. But I suppose that's what season 2 will let us find out and things.
Yeah, well, this could be interesting if she somehow catches wind of
what's happened and things.
Yeah, of what Joel's done, and it could be. I don't know how she would react to that.
I don't know either, because she got very like, he's the only one that's like stayed and like survived for a while, and she's also become very attached to him. So it will most likely go the conventional way that it would go wrong, but then she might have time to think about why he did it, maybe a bit more with some explanation, and then rekindle, or it'll go the other way of where like Joel ends up dying while she's trying to come back and rekindle with him.
Yeah.
But I don't know, would they kill Joel off? I don't know. I haven't played the game to know.
I don't know. I know he does. Well, spoilers for The Last of Us 2 if you haven't seen it. I know Joel does die early on in the game. I remember like when the game first came out, there was a massive backlash because apparently I don't know how he dies. But apparently
I did know that Joel dies. But
yeah. But
I didn't know if you know that. Joel dies.
I
That's
knew.
One thing I did know for season 2.
Yeah,
but I don't know how he dies.
Apparently, it happened in the game in a way that was out of character for Joel. Like he dies like in a way that he wouldn't have let happen. Like he's too careful for the situation that killed him. Like I don't know what it was specifically.
Apart from the 2 or 3 times that people came up behind him and got him, but
true. But apparently this was in the show they did, but maybe that wouldn't happen in the game. I don't know.
Joel's just a cold-hearted killer.
Yeah. But so who knows? Because I know Pedro Pascal said that he wants to sort of take a step back from the Mandalorian so that he can focus on this. So I'm assuming they've got more for him to do. Because if he dies within the first couple of episodes of The Last of Us, then that's it.
Well, that still could be like a lot of work, depending on like it's like 4 hours of like content, but might be still a lot of like stuff to do.
True, but then that's kind of it. Though,
and then he might have some like flashback stuff to do, or just extra flashback things. Because that's happened before, where like a character's died episode 1 or episode 2 of a new season, and they still have flashback sequences to come.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping he just doesn't. I think from what I know, he should die in the episode 1, but I'm really hoping he doesn't die in episode 1. It's gonna be like an episode 2, maybe death.
Yeah.
Or who knows? They might change it slightly so it is just more of a believable death. I don't know. Depends if they like talk to some of the writers from Naughty Dog or whatnot, or depending on how they want to do it, we might get something different, like we saw with Bill and Frank. I don't really know.
Right. Yeah.
It depends, I guess, where they want to do it. But yeah, I don't really know. I really enjoyed this season, and it was nice. I thought
it was great. Yeah.
Have another thing that felt like the House of Dragon, because it'd been a while since I'd got like. I really enjoy my anime and cartoon stuff, but it's been a while since a TV show, live action one, where I've been very much like, I'm looking forward to watching this, or I watch it and I'm like, shit me, this is very good. Like The Mandalorian has been good, but it's
mostly the Bo-Katan show in season 3. It's also just more like video game plot. Oh, we need to go here, we need to get this thing, now we need to go and talk to this guy on this planet now, but he'll only talk to us if we do this for him, and it's just
it's
more of that. I didn't like. I wanted it to just be classic bounty hunter adventures, and now he's tied into a massive plot of like the fate of Mandalore and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh god,
oh Christ,
yeah. But whatever.
No, I want to see more fantasy shows that like get me gripped and get me excited. As I've only watched a few episodes of The Rings of Power, and it really wasn't doing it for me at all. And I don't know if I'll ever continue. I might at some point. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're part of the 63% of all viewers that just didn't bother finishing the show. So don't feel like you have to.
Somehow they've got a season 2. Which...
Well, yeah, I think the season 2 was more or less guaranteed before season 1 even came out, because I think they've got a 5-season plan, and they've already paid like $1 billion towards it. It's nuts, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, the Warhammer TV show is probably one of the next big ones I'm looking forward to with Henry Cavill, as that should hopefully
he's a producer on it as well, isn't he? So he's got
he's got the power of Grayskull. But
I think The Witcher was obviously a big learning curve for him, and
to not let that shit happen again.
If you want to do it well, do it yourself. Yeah.
But no, I don't particularly have anything more to say. It's been like a fucking 36-minute video.
Okay, yeah.
Ramblings and things. Is there anything more you'd like to add at all?
Episodes 4 and 5, where they're in Kansas City.
Yep. I have to make sure I audibly say yes as I nodded at you. No one could hear me nod.
That woman, Kathleen, is a total bitch, and I'm glad she got murdered.
Yep, I am glad she got murdered. I am still very sad at the fact that we didn't get an explanation as to why there was a bunch of fucking infected and a bloater just under the ground. We didn't really get anything for that. Yeah. But maybe that's something that the game explores more. But yes, it did feel... That's what I was still going back to I wish we maybe had 1 to 2 more or 3 more episodes in total, like a 10 or to 12 episode series instead, that maybe allowed for a bit more explanation of some things, and maybe a bit less of, we're on a new episode and it's pretty much been like 4 or 5 months since the last episode for a few of the episodes, and that kind of like hindered it a little bit for me. I mean, but yeah, I'm still very happy with it irregardless. And I mean, Tess's death was a bit sad, but also it was very weird with the whole kind of started kissing with weird fungal tentacles out of the mouth. That was a bit...
Yeah, that was strange, that was, yeah. Is that... if an infected person gets hold of a regular person, but the regular person isn't struggling, do they just give them a nice little kiss instead of a bite? You're good, I'll just kiss you.
Well, she was already infected, wasn't she?
Has she already been bitten?
Yeah.
Oh, she had. Yeah, that's why she'd stay behind. That was strange. Yeah. Why did she let that happen?
Oh, I don't know. Who fuck knows?
But that was sad, because I was thinking it as well. I was just like, I can't remember ever hearing about this woman from the game. Oh, she probably dies, doesn't she? Doesn't she? And yeah, she did. Was that episode 1 or 2?
That was episode 2 or 3.
Was it? Okay. Oh, it would have been 2, because 3 is the Bill and Frank episode?
Yes, there was 2. It was
She's in 3, but in a flashback when Joel and Tess just happen to pass through Frank and Bill's estate, and they have like a nice little dinner party, don't they? That's they're just acting like a regular gay couple that's never been touched by the apocalypse,
never existed.
But I also was it Sammy, and I can't remember what the brother was called. Sammy was a little deaf kid, wasn't he? Savage. What happened with them?
That sucked.
Having to blow his own brother's brains out and then blowing his own
immediately
brains
just
out.
blowing his own brains out. Yeah, it was pretty fucking sucky ass thing, to be fair. But then, it was nice that there wasn't like beating around the bush about deaths and things. They don't normally do that anyway, but it was nice that we didn't see any of that. That, you know, we randomly just got to let them live, or, you know, some mercy, as that world will be just very harsh. And it's nice in a weird kind of fucked up way to see that on the screen, which I think just further emphasizes the quality of the show. But no, I very much enjoyed it. Luke very much enjoyed it. If you haven't watched it, like, we're very late to it. Like, if you haven't watched it for some reason or are hesitant, go watch it.
I mean, it did come out this year, I suppose. So I'm pretty sure it's a 2023 show, because I remember when earlier this year when I was at training, people were talking about it.
Time to quickly. Oh, it is a 2023 show.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought it come out last year.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was.
Finished in freaking March. Oh.
Yeah, it started in January.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Left Behind number 7 with the mole was the worst rated episode.
Yeah. See, it was a very slow one. I think that was a.
We shouldn't have seen the infected so early.
Yeah.
And that would have just like helped. Like, it would have just been a nice sort of episode, and then an infected appears, and that would have just ruined things, rather than just a 10 minutes in, we've seen an infected, we're going to have 15-20 minutes of just still enjoying and making far much more noise than they need to make for an infected to appear anyway. But
what do you think about the resistance movements? Do you reckon they're justified against taking over against Fedra?
I don't know, in all honesty. It's more of a, when it gets to this stage in an apocalyptic setting, I think people should just be allowed to exist in their own, make a town if need be, and do whatever and survive. And I also understand that there needs to be some form of resistance against the people trying to, like, not make, well, just do shit not okay. But then again, when we see Joel, he kind of had a shitty job and whatnot, but those people were surviving, to quote unquote, rather than just being left out. It becomes hard when it is a post-apocalyptic setting, because there are mouths to feed, the resources start dwindling, but there's also the same way that a town can just kind of thrive. We saw how Bill and Frank just existed. Yes, he had far more shit than like probably 99% of people would have in a survival setting, but
I mean, Tommy's town seemed to be doing all right, but then, of course, you get, like, Frank and his lot that are cannibalising people. It's strange that, even though they have, like, it doesn't seem to be hard for them to go and hunt a deer or something like that, you know? Why can't they just do that?
They said that they were like, well, who the fuck's this? And I think they were struggling to find a deer and things, but, it was weird, because I didn't know that I was going to be, like, cannibals, but just after seeing the meat go in the pot, I was just like... Because I literally said straight away, I was like, why not cut that up? Because that's just such a big chunk of meat. And then I was just like, oh shit, what happens if that just isn't me? And
it is technically, but
human meat.
Some that you should be consuming. I don't know. Because, like, you know, with that Kathleen woman from episode 4 and 5, like, she is on, like, a sort of murderous rampage just because...
I think of what had happened to one of her relatives. I think it was her dad or something.
It was her brother, wasn't it, who got given up to Fedra, and then Fedra, like, imprisoned him and I assume tortured him and then killed him. But then he was also the leader of the group that slaughtered the Fedra in...
Yeah,
in the city, in Kansas City, like they were lynching people and all sorts. They were setting on fire and just beating them to death. It was brutal, like that.
I guess it is just most likely how different people react in the different squads. Whether your ringleader is at the time can change the way you, as like a family or a group or a town's lot, will survive and thrive, or potentially not thrive.
Yeah,
that is why the different types of leaders or the resources that you can get is important. It's why I really enjoyed the Falling Skies TV series. It's a very like lower budget one. And the CG part for the aliens and robots don't look that amazing, but it's a nice survival thing. You know, it's when aliens take over the world and you have different bits of the resistance living and things, and it's, you know, they'll go out on food runs, they'll go out on medicine runs, they have like nice camps set up and things where it is trying to like keep civilization going rather than just not. And you know, we have instances where there'll be people that start off as bad guys, they end up joining, they're very, you know, hit and miss for a little bit, and then they'll finally start to engage and be a part of that and learn that just like, yeah, this way is just probably better than just going around fucking killing people for just scrapping food and stuff.
Right.
And it's, you know, it's nice to see. That's why when I was talking to you about the Bill and Frank episode, I'd quite happily just watch an entire series of just watching how Bill thrived and survived.
The adventures of Bill.
Yeah, the event. I think it would do all right, to be honest. Just to, like, give me a 6-episode miniseries of just insert a title, just like The Last of Us stories, Bill or whatever, and it's just Bill. We get to see all of Bill surviving and things and learning how he built things and just.
I think that's a cool idea and concept, but I think it would actually be quite boring, really, because it would be mostly just him doing normal things in what is actually an apocalypse setting. Like, oh god, I've got to mow the lawn today. Like, it's just 20 minutes of him like doing his whole lawn.
Yeah, no, like it's just like. Whenever we see things where it's post-apocalyptic or survival, it feels like we just don't see much survival and things, or like food gathering. We always hear that we don't have enough food to hit, like for mouths to feed. But that's one thing I did enjoy in the beginning of The Walking Dead. They did start to go on like food runs or medicine runs to go like raid things. And you know, there was several times in this TV show where like they just walked past stuff without just looking through it. Like, I'd be proper trying to scrounge and just find shit. You don't know what you could find.
Yeah.
We only saw one bit where, like, Joel pulled out, I think, a can of fucking beef ravioli or some shit and, like, a Boggle board game. Like, I'd like to have seen so much more of that to just be like, what other weird stuff could they find that could just still be useful now?
Yeah.
And whatnot.
I guess it could maybe come down to, like, how much they can carry at once. Like, 'cause they're usually on foot just with, like, a backpack. Yeah. Maybe they just have whatever they need before they know they're going to get somewhere that they can get more supplies, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose, but no. We'll leave it there, as I don't want to suddenly get to an hour episode.
Yeah, it's going on.
But no, if you made it this far, just drop a comment, let us know if you've watched the Last of Us series, and if not, definitely go watch the Last of Us series.
Yeah, for sure. 10 out of 10.
And then we'll see Luke when Luke comes back from the army, essentially. Probably at Christmas time.
Probably at Christmas time, yeah.
But no, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and all that good stuff. And then tune in next time when... Well, Luke's back, but tune in next time when I'm back also. Unless you just randomly don't want to watch any more of my videos till Luke's back. But take care now.
Yeah. Cheers. Have a good one, guys.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. Click the button to keep watching, or click the other video for more videos. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.